So in the first unit, we talked about introduction to data mining. So we have seen that there are some specific models like KDD process model is there and CRISP DM, CRISP data mining model, right? And in the last session, we talked about uh, mining on different kinds of data and applications of data mining and challenges of data mining, right? So in case of this particular point, if you remember, we talked about uh, the possibilities where data can come from, right? So as we are going to start with this unit, second unit, data understanding and preparation. So in this case, first point is introduction and second point is reading data from various sources. So corresponding to this particular point also, I can say that the thing which we discussed for this one, mining on different kinds of data. So the thing which we discussed here, same thing is going to apply here also. So I meant to say, if you people remember, which were the various data sources from which data can be ingested or from which data can be imported. So if you remember, many times source of the data can be batches, right? Data can come in batches, maybe in CSV files in batches. Data can come through streaming, right? So there might be a data which is coming through streaming also. That also one of the sources of data, I can say. Or there might be a need to read the data from that kind of a source via streaming, I can say. So video streaming, for example, we have seen many times we live cricket matches we try to watch through live streaming only, right? So it can be one of the sources of data to read from. After that, we have talked about the use of some messaging techniques, right? So use of messaging techniques. So there are different messaging techniques I talked about when I discussed about this particular point. I said that there are messaging techniques like Kafka, right? There is something called as JNS, right? So this kind of messaging techniques can be used to read the data from some source. So this can be a source, I mean to say. This can be different source, another source. Then I told you talked about FTP, right? File transfer protocol. So with the help of which we can actually share the data in terms of files with the help of file transfer protocol. It's a protocol. Protocol is nothing but set of rules which makes use of port number 21. That's a standard port number used by FTP. Then there are some APIs, application programming interfaces. For example, you talk about any social media, for example. So for Twitter, there is a API which is called as Twitter API. So for Twitter, there is an API called as Twitter API, which can be used. So if you want to make use of a Twitter API to fetch the data from Twitter as tweets, so you need to have one account on Twitter, and that is called as developers account. So in that case, you can go and you can fetch the data from Twitter. Right. So as we want to talk about reading data from various sources, so I'm just giving you the same example. It can be any API or REST API, I can say, application programming interface. And then obviously we talked about all these things. Database, it can be a source. Data warehouse, it can be a source to read the data from. It all depends on what type of database they use, right? And obviously, extraction, transformation, and loading pipeline. ETL pipeline can be one of the sources to get the data or to read the data from, right? So these are some of the sources you can mention if you want to read some data. So yes, these are some possible sources where data might be coming, or data might be coming from a JSON file, JavaScript object notation, which is nothing but what? It is something like this, key and value pair. So so it's like MongoDB is the best example of a database which actually makes use of JSON kind of a document. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It is one of the types of a document format which many databases make use of. And MongoDB is one of the databases which makes use of JSON kind of a document. So it is actually key value pair. So for example, if you want to store a data, for example, marks. So marks will be written in single quote and then colon, in how many marks that student has scored, suppose 58. So this is nothing but key and this is the value of the key marks. So this is called a JSON document. It's like a dictionary in case of Python. So yes, JSON can be one of the sources of data, and other sources of data can be different servers, right? So maybe you might have heard about some frameworks like Hadoop. It can be a source. HBase, it can be a source. So all these are used for big data. It can store the data, big data, and it can process big data. Another source can be Spark. All these are tools which can be used to store data, process data, and so on. So as we are talking about reading data from various sources, so I just tried to give all these examples, right? So in batches, file streaming, messaging, all these things are going to come into picture, right? And whenever we talk about some social media, for example, Twitter, I give an example. It can be like for YouTube also there is one API. For example, if you want to go and you need to do data mining on YouTube data for analytics, what you can do is you need to have a YouTube API, application programming interface. So if you want to connect to YouTube's data, for example, you want to make an analysis that what type of videos a particular category, each category of people actually watch. So you need to have a connection with YouTube first, and that connection will be established with the help of YouTube API. Similarly, Twitter API. Similarly, something is there for Facebook also. So they make use of API, application programming interface, and that can be a one source to read data from. Right? That's why I tried to mention all these sources of data from which data can be read. Now, talking about this particular point, talking about data visualization. So data visualization itself is a very mm, big term actually. There are a lot of possibilities in data visualization, and data visualization is going to be very important, and it's a part of a pre-processing step, I can say, with the help of which we try to understand data clearly. So for example, now as you might have used R Studio already, right? So whether it's R or Python or any kind of a language, data visualization is going to be there. Because if you want and if you want to go and if you want to create some models with the help of all these algorithms, definitely first of all your data should be visualized properly so that you can go and you can understand what the data is all about, and then accordingly you can make use of the data and actually you can understand the data, and accordingly you go and you can make use of the data to create the models. For example, in case of data visualization, I will show you simple plots which can be used. As in your syllabus they have mentioned R, that's why I will try to do it with R. Otherwise, one can go and one can make use of it, make use of the Python also. I have both of the things actually. You can see I have R Studio also running, right? This is one of the data visualization I have already done here. So it's actually data visualization of tweets for Virat Kohli. So what people are talking about Virat Kohli on Twitter, whether they are positive about him, negative about him, or what. So anyway, actually, maybe we will discuss this as a case study later on in your lab. But yes, this kind of a thing can be actually done with the help of visualization. So we will see that one. Today, what we will do is we will try to talk about visualization as that's the topic. In theory also we want to discuss. So I will just try to give one more example of visualization. So as this is what our topic is, as visualization, data visualization is what our topic is. So we will just try to discuss data visualization with proper examples, simple examples, and we will try to implement them in R or try to execute them in R. Okay. So if you talk about second unit, most of the topics I will be showing you with the help of either R or Python. Any topic you talk about, so you will be able to understand it there itself. Okay. So see, now we will try to go and we will try to see what is data visualization. Talking about all these things again, you require basics of R or Python. Okay, let's see. Let's try to complete this particular topic first. So whenever we talk about data visualization, obviously there are different plots which are going to come into picture, different figures which are going to come into picture. Okay, so for example, this particular topic we'll talk about with the help of these plots: scatter plot, histogram, and box plot. I think some of you are already aware about box plot. Okay? So let's see how to approach that. So see, this C command, I think we talked about this. C command is nothing but combine now. Okay. So what am I going to do is I'm going to create a data. So A is equal to C 10, 13, 14, 10, 12, 17, and B is equal to this one. So these are nothing but what? These are the vectors we are trying to create. Right? This is our array. Only array is nothing but vector. Okay. Just to understand that particular theoretical concept, A I am going to create. So this particular sign, you know that it's equal to, either you do it like this or this sign equal to, you understand. So I will do control enter. Once I do control enter, now you will be able to see that this is how my A looks like. Right? This is what my A is. And you know what is the command to check what is A? You just go here and type it as class of A. If you do and run it with control enter, you'll be able to see that class of A is numeric because all the values are numeric. Similarly, I will go here, I will press control enter. Okay, and now if I go and if I try to see what is B, I will be able to see the values of B, like 15, 17, 19, 13, 13, 19. Okay, so we have A as well as B. Right, now simple visualization you can do with the help of Python, with the help of R, is by using plot command. So what I will do is I will just try to plot a graph between A and B. So I will do plot A comma B. So if I want to run it, right, control enter or just go here and run it. Now you will be able to see a plot. So you can see, if I go here, if I click on zoom, you will be able to see a plot like this. So depending on the value of A and B, now we are able to see all these things. So you can, a very simple visualization, right, just to start with. Now you can see, in case of A array, I was having all these values. So you can check, A is shown here and B is shown here, because in the command we mention it like this, plot A comma B. So A is X and B is Y. So A is representing X axis and B is representing Y axis. Okay. So you can see this particular way. So if A is 10, B is 30. Suppose if A is 12, B is 30. Suppose this one, what it is talking about? It is saying that if A is 13, then B is 17. That's something like this. So very simple graph we are trying to plot here with the help of values of A and B. Now we will go and we will move forward and we will try to see how visualization can be actually used to get more and more information about the data. Once you get a lot of information about your data, then only you will be in a position actually to go and to have some models created with the help of that data, right? Now let me go and let me try to talk about other things. This is a plot which we got here. In this case, we got this plot. Now, there are a lot of plots which are available in case of either R or Python, right? So what are we going to do is we are going to make use of one data set which is called as New York Flights 2013, NYC Flight 13. So we need to have a package in R to actually work on this data, right? Then we will try to plot a plot for that particular data which is called as scatter plot. So as we need data, that's why I'm going to just import this particular thing in R. So in my case, this particular package is already installed. So let me show you how to access that particular thing. So as I want to use that particular thing, I will have to library it. There is a command called as library, and let me see NYC flights 2013. So I just type NY and press tab button. I'm able to see all these things because NYC flights 13 package is already there in my case. Okay. Now our purpose is to understand data visualization. That's why we are trying to make use of this data set. Now let me go and run it. Okay. And if it is showing you warning like this, in my case it is showing you a warning message like this, no problem. What you can do is go here and run it once again. So you press control enter. Now it is not showing me any warning. Now what I can do is I will type NYC flights 113. Now see it's going to show me all these things. So it has a data sets like data sets for airlines, airports, flights, planes, weather. Right? So all these data sets. So out of this I will use suppose flights. Go here and run it. Now I'll be able to see data set. So from NYC flights 13, I am trying to see flights data set, this particular thing. So I just press control enter. Now I am able to see all these things. So you can check. There is a lot of data. You can see. So the output of NYC, output of this particular thing you are able to see is this one. Let me just scroll it up. And here, let me show you the output. See, this is the output. When I type NYC flights 13, NYC flights 13 colon flights, I'm able to see this. So year, month, day, departure time, scheduled departure time, departure delay, arrival time, scheduled arrival time. Right? All these are the columns, and some more columns are also there. So you can see how many rows and how many columns are there. See, with 336, 766 more rows and 11 more variables. That means all these columns plus 11 more columns. Right, so you can check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 11, 19 columns are there. And 10 plus 766. 10 plus this number, 3,36,766. So these many number of rows. So these many number of rows plus 19 columns are there almost in this data set. Right? Now we will try to understand data visualization with the help of that example. Okay, so I have already imported that. I have already installed that. In my case, that data set is there. This is the output variable to see. Right? Now there is some command, one command that is called attach. What will happen with the help of the attach command is you don't have to type NYC flight 13 again and again. And our this RStudio session is actually going to remember each and every column name if you try to run it like this. Right? So you don't have to actually go and run everything again and again. What I will do is I will run the attach command here. For that I will run attach command, and in this I will try to run NYC flights. I will just try to run this one. So I will just copy it, Control C, and go here and paste it. So attach command, because of this, what's going to happen is your session will be able to remember all the columns. You don't have to explicitly give all of them, right? And now here what we will do is we can make use of plot command once again, just to see the visualization. So as you can see here, so here they are trying to plot a graph between arrival delay and departure delay. So how the departure delay, arrival delay is affecting departure delay, that we want to see. So what I can, so arrival delay and departure delay are what? They are just the column names which are available in this particular NYC flight data set. See, why am I able to, why it is able to show all the column names whenever I type ALL. So see, AR, arrival, see, ARR underscore. How am I get all these things? Because I have attached that particular package. Attached. That's why. So I will see the arrival delay. Comma. If I type DEP and then tab button, you will be able to see all these options starting with DEP. Now I will select departure delay. So what will happen because of this? Because of this, it is going to show me a plot between arrival delay and departure delay. Let me run it. It will take some time because there are a lot of rows available in this dataset. A lot of observations are there, a lot of records are there. So it will take some time, and then once this is done, we'll be able to see a graph between arrival delay and departure delay. So I think it is done. As I run this particular command, let me click on the zoom and let us see whether it shows us the graph or not. And one more point is that, see, it will be running till that red dot, right? Till the point you see the red dot, it is going to be running. So see, still we are not able to see that particular graph between arrival delay and departure delay. But yes, it will come. Because this one is done, it might be loading. Now see, it has come. So there are a lot of data sets now, a lot of observations. Still it is not coming on Zoom. It will load. It will load. I'll have to wait. But yes, this is the graph. Now you can check. I told you, right? 3,36,000, more than this, or 3,36,776 plus 10 records are there. There are about 1920 columns of the see. So this is what your arrival delay, and this is what your departure delay. Let me once again click zoom. As there are a lot of data sets, that's why it will take time to load. Okay. Just explain it with the help of this. See. Now what you can see from this particular visualization, what you can notice is on x-axis you have arrival delay. Right. So here you can check on x-axis you have arrival delay, and y-axis you have departure delay. So the point is that overall we can get the situation is like this. As the arrival delay increases, departure delay also increases. So they are actually related linearly. In linear fashion, they are related to each other. As and when arrival delay increase, departure delay also increase. So the relationship is linear in between arrival delay and departure delay, the relationship is linear kind of a relationship. That's what we can see here, right? So this is a simple scatter plot, I can say, with the help of plot command. Whatever the plot we get by default, it is nothing but scatter plot. Even if you want to go and change the size of the markers or the change the sign of this marker like star or triangle, something like that, that is possible. That we will see when you can go and you can change the color first. Right? So all those things step by step we will try to see under visualization. So this is simple analysis. This is simple relationship. Okay. So this is a simple relationship between arrival delay and departure delay. That's what we can get actually from on this data set, right? With the help of plot command. Let's move forward. Okay. Now see what if you want to add all these things, header and X label and Y label, all those things we can add. So this thing we have already done, arrival delay, departure delay, and you can add something called as main, and that main is going to be this particular thing, arrival versus departure. So whatever you want to write on, you can write on here. Suppose if you go here in R and in this command itself, if you go and you have to main plot arrival delay departure delay main is equal to, suppose, control V. Okay. Let me show you. Okay. So now we are just trying to add a title here. So there is nothing, right? Right now you can see there is no title for this particular graph. You are not able to understand anything, right? So we will try to add title, we will try to add X label, Y label, and so on. But if you go here and run it once again, now you will be able to see the same plot you will be able to see, but with a title. Sorry, see there is a mistake actually. The copy pasted it, that's why main is 2 times. So it should be like this. Let me just select. Let me run it once again. Okay, let me go here and run it once again. Control enter. Again, it will take some time. Otherwise, what I will do is I will go and clear everything because there was a mistake, right? This was a mistake. Let me see. Okay, otherwise I will have to go and again quit it. I will restart. So I'm just trying to restart now. So what are we trying to do here is we are just trying to understand how to do visualization with the help of all these things. So you can see here what will happen in this case till the R restarts. After that, once I run it, you will be able to see something like this, which is nothing but main or title, I guess. Right? So earlier there was no title in our graph. In this case, now you will be able to see a title. Right? So that is nothing but again a scatter plot. And you can go and you can add all these things. X lab means X label and Y lab means Y label. So till now what we have seen here is ARR underscore delay. So exactly whatever the column name is, that it has already taken as it is. But if you want it a proper column name, so what you can do is proper label name. So what you can do is you can write it down as your own. Okay? So the arguments are X lab and Y lab. So X lab equal to Y lab equal to and main equal to. All these things you can add, and you will be able to see a graph, same graph, but with the title and with the X label and the Y label lines. So that's what I was just trying to do. A simple thing. Right? And obviously, you have a title also. You have this title also. Okay. So now there is something which is can be used, which is called as heavy line. This kind of a thing is actually very useful in case linear regression. Right? So I think it is restarted. Okay, it is resuming the session. So see, what I am trying to talk about is now this particular graph we plotted. Now what are we going to do is we are going to write down or we are going to draw a horizontal line and a vertical line. So to draw a horizontal line and a vertical line, we need AB line like this. This is a horizontal line. Right. So how to draw a line like that? Because this is what we are going to need in linear regression. You might be knowing about linear regression. Right? Linear regression can be used to create predictive models. Right. So if you go and if you try to check in your syllabus, I think it is there in your third unit, maybe. Yeah, in third unit you have something called as linear regression. So okay, if you do not know about it, don't worry. I will be explaining all these things. So all these are part of data science or machine learning also. These things. Okay. So linear regression is something with the help of which you can create predictive models. Okay. So now I was saying that with the help of this particular command, what you can do is you can create horizontal line or vertical line, and that thing we are going to make use of in linear regression concept. Okay, so let me check whether it has restarted. Yes, it has restarted now. Now what I will do, I will just try to run some of the few commands. So library NYC flights, I will run it, and then I will run the attach command once again because it should be able to identify all the column names. And now I will directly try to show you this particular plot, this one, and then we will see what is the use of that AB line, which is also something useful in visualization. Right. So specifically again, I will repeat, I am talking about R only because in US level they mentioned R. Okay, so here I am trying to plot the same graph. Control enter. Now I should be able to see that plot between arrival delay and departure delay with the X label, Y label, and the heading. And there we will try to draw horizontal line and vertical line and just try to see what will happen because of that, or what you can do with the help of that particular thing. So what it is showing you? It is showing you warning message. Okay, maybe it will come. Let's see. Because it has shown me a warning, it has not shown me any error. Still it's a warning. So let me once again go here, library. So I run this command, library NYC flights 13. NYC flights 13 is a dataset which is by default available in RStudio. Now see, you are able to see the same graph with this heading, with this x-axis, with this y-axis, and with this title. Okay. Now let's try to see what is that AB line. So if I go here and if I try to use this AB line, and if suppose what they had done is 0 0 first, maybe 0 0 or 0 1. So let's see 0 1. What is this 0 1? Right. So these are actually the values of xy. Let me show you. If I go here and if I try to run 0 1 and just run it, okay. So let's see what this 0 1 will do and what 0 0 will do. So it is just to draw a line. At what point you want to draw a line, that point you need to mention. If I am saying 0 1 or if I am saying AB line of 0 0, let me do. So it is executing, it will show the output. Now see, 0 0 means what? Why it at the, so 0 0 it means at the angle of 45. So you can check it. This particular line I am able to see. It is because of AB line 0 0. Suppose, just to understand that particular concept, if I go here and if I try to do it with AB, you can fire the command here as well. AB line of suppose 1 comma 0 and control enter. So whether it is 1 comma 0 or 0 comma 1, that is actually the line which we can say which is going to override x-axis and y-axis. So in this case, if I say 0 1, so x is 0, y is 1, so it will be this line, right? In this case, x is 1 and y is 0. Right. So we have something called as, now with regards to this, we have something called as horizontal line and vertical line. We can draw horizontal line and vertical line. See, this is what I was saying. This is what I was expecting in our case. So how to draw this particular line? Here, if you go and if I do AB line, okay, and there will be argument which is h, and h is equal to suppose 1 and then run. Now see, you will be able to see a line which is horizontal line at this one. You are able to see this particular line because I have written h equal to 1. That means you will be getting a horizontal line which is parallel to x, right? This is how this AB line is going to be useful. Suppose if you want to concentrate on the part of the data maybe below this one, if you want to concentrate on this data only, what you can do is you can go here, draw a line here, and draw a line here. That means you will concentrate only on this data. Okay. So for that purpose, you can use that horizontal line and vertical line. Let me show you if it is possible for you to go and try to have a v equal to 1 and correct. Okay. So I will have to change v equal to maybe suppose 0 and let's see. So we have an option v equal to which is available in AB line. That's what I am trying to do. So it's still running actually. It's still running. Let's. Okay, it has not shown us, but yes, it must have drawn a line. Let me see if I do it like this. V equal to 1 is the AB line. So it is given here. Okay, it is just drawing a parallel line. So what happens is whenever I do it like this, AB line, and if I go and suppose just provide some argument like 1 and run it. So if I go here, let me see, press F1, it is going to show me help about this particular thing. So I just press F1 here. Yeah, now see, add a straight lines to upload, as simple as that. So we have options like A, B, H, V. So A, B are the intercepts, slope, and single values. So you might be knowing about the equation of a straight line. Equation of straight line says that y is equal to mx plus c, right? Where m is the slope and c is the intercept. So you need to mention those values also, right? As we are not discussing linear regression here, that's why I will not go into deep of that as we want to complete that visualization part. So let me complete that first, and then maybe we will discuss this particular thing once again. So in that case, I need to say that this EV line is going to be very useful in that case. Okay. Now moving forward, as I told you that you can go and you can change the characters, those markers, right? So we use something called as PCH. PCH stands for plot character. So what we can do is we can use same command with PCH equal to 3 if I use. So 3 means plus sign. So every marker will be replaced with plus sign. So you can go and you can try it out with other things also, like reverse triangle, box and cross 7 means, or triangle 2 means triangle, or 1 means circle, and so on. Let me show you. Same command but with PCH argument. PCH stands for plot character. So if I go and if I try to run it, so what we have given PCH as 3, 3 means plus sign. So in that plot, every marker will be replaced with plus sign. Right? So if you are able to see this red, it means it is still running. So we should be able to see the same graph, but with the instead of those markers, it will be plus sign. So again, it helps in visualization if you have different data. So we will see later on how actually change the colors of all those things. How to get the colorful graphs. That also we will try to talk about. Okay. So see, it is still running. Let it come, and you will understand what I am trying to talk about. So we have added only one argument, that is PCH, this one. PCH stands for plot character. So instead of circle, instead of a marker now, it should show me plus sign. It might take time to load. This particular thing is done, right? Till now it should have shown me a graph here. Let me click on plot. Let me click on zoom. So instead of those markers, it should show me plus sign. We are not able to see it here till now because maybe I will have to refresh it again. Let me click on zoom. It should change. I will otherwise go here again and once again right. Now see that vertical line which I tried to draw earlier, right? That is coming right now. So it is somewhat very slow. That's why now see this vertical line is also low. So wherever you want to draw a vertical line, you can go and you can draw it. You can just think of this particular command. Now it is going to run 2 times actually. So it is somewhat slow because data is something huge. That's why. I hope you people are trying, you are understanding whatever I'm trying to say. So because of the size of data, actually it is taking some time to just replace all these circles with plus sign. Okay, but yes, this command is right. You can see that we did not get any kind of error here. I think I will have to go and I will have to stop some processes which are already running. Something like this. So it is obviously it will take some minutes, right? Now see, you can check. So circles are actually replaced with plus signs, right? All these plus signs. But the problem is that all the plus signs are overlapped. That's why we will make use of colors. Okay, so this is how you can make use of different plot characters. There are a lot of plot characters which are available, which you can make use of. Suppose if you want triangle, then use PCH equal to 2, right? 4 as a cross, 5 as diamond, and so on. So you can make use of it later on. Let me move forward. This is what we have seen. PCH. If you want to use your own character also, that's also possible. Suppose here they have actually used S. You can go and you can make use of any other plot character, right? Suppose let me go here, let me run the same command and instead of this PCH character, suppose I want to give my own character, right? So yes, you can go and you can do that. Suppose I want to use maybe Y. Let me run. So instead of that plus sign, the whatever the character which you want here, that should come. So in this case, as I have given our user defined character, so it should be in double quote or single quote. Okay. So that's the command or plot command how you can make use of it. You can go and you can just press F1. You'll be able to see all the help which is needed for that command. Okay. Moving forward, now as you want to filter data, so what you can do is see arrival delay. Now there are different carriers in case of flights data. So UA means United America, right? Sorry, United Emirates, and this one is American Airlines. There are two different airlines, two different carriers. So now you want to filter the data. So what you can do is you can use different plot characters. Right. So see, in arrival delay, you have this carrier UA. So and in departure delay also. So what is the arrival and departure delay for this carrier, this airline, and what is the arrival and departure delay for this carrier, American Airlines. So as you want to see, this by default it is circle and PC is equal to 3 means plus. So wherever there is a plus sign, that means it is AA, American Airlines, right? So that's how you can make use of those plotting characters. But again, here there is also problem. That's why we use colors, color theme. Let me see whether you are able to see the result or not. Now see, y, everything is y, which is a plus sign because we have given the y character. It is just that it was taking a lot of time. Let me show you this, what I'm trying to talk about. See, This particular thing is what, as there are different airlines which are available in flight data, but as we are not able to identify whose arrival delay is more, whose departure delay is more, and so on, and what is the relationship between the arrival delay and departure delay of a particular airline. So what you can do is you can go and you can make use of plot command and then points command. So here for American Airlines, I am using PCH equal to 3 plus. Let me run these two commands. Let me select them and let me run them. Control enter. Now what will happen? You will see plus sign as well as you will see circle, because there are two airlines we are trying to talk about, UA and AA, and these circles are for UA and plus is for AA. That's how it should happen. Now see, we'll be able to see this. So circles are for AA. So that will be the relationship of arrival and departure delay of UA circle, right? PCH equal to 3 means plus. So plus is for American Airlines. So wherever you see plus, American Airlines. But the problem is that again in this case, as the color is same, there is overlap. We are not able to clearly identify everything. And that's why what we will do is we will try to go with colors in this case. That's why we will use red color for UA and green color for AA. Right? So again same command, but by adding two more arguments, that is COL. COL actually stands for color. So this is one type of visualization which you can go and which you can do for your data to understand what that data is all about. Right? So if I go here and if I try to enter and if I try to run these commands at once and control enter, now you'll be able to see the same output but in different colors, red and green. So red is for UA and the green color is for AA. Again, it will take time, but it will come. Right? Yes, this is something you will be able to see. You have a lot of choices in R and Python actually. Even as I told you that you can have an interactive diagram also. Now see, this is what your graph is going to look like. Okay, let me again, it will load actually. I just try to click on zoom. It takes time to load because data is huge. Okay, anyway, now you are able to see this one. So it's somewhat better as compared to earlier one. But again, there can be a problem, right? So you have a lot of other options to try it out. We have different graphs also. Okay, this is what we have seen. Now, what you can do is you can actually divide your screen where you are able to see the graph. You can divide your screen into multiple rows. So multiple frame rows. So C12 means what? 1, 2 means one row and two columns. That means in one row you will be able to see two graphs. So that means we are just trying to separate out both the graphs. And from this particular figure, it is find out that this green is overlapping red. So there is a problem. We are not able to identify UA and A. Both the airlines we are not able to identify clearly. So what can be done here is you can go here and suppose if I run this particular command first, this one. Let me go and run it. Okay, it is showing me error.
Throw plot.
Okay.
Beside par, you have to enter that plot down, na?
Just
Sir, बाजू में sir. हाँ वो वाला वो.
So here, what I will do is I will try to go and try to run this. First of all, I will divide this canvas, this area into one row and two columns. So that what will happen now, I will be able to see both the graphs separately for UA as well as A. Let me just go here, control enter. Now it has divided it. Now I will try to plot first plot. So which is for UA, right? Now again it will, yeah, now this is for UA and the next will be for AA. Again, I could have actually went and added a color also. So it should show me two graphs separately, two plots separately. Second will also come. Now see. Now there is no overlap. There is no question of overlap now. Because UA as well as A relationship or both of them between their arrival time and departure time, now you are able to see. Okay, so this is one type of visualization and this is how you can make it understandable. So you can see earlier there was a problem of overlap, now there is no problem. Right? So you can use this particular thing very effectively. Right? And again, there is, if you check at this particular thing, if for example, if you want to compare the performance of UA with American Airlines, right? So you cannot compare it right now because if you check, they are not on the same scale. So it is starting from 0 to 500, and it is starting from 0 to 1000. So you cannot actually compare both of them. So what we can do is we can bring them to the same scale and then compare who is performing well, right? So if you want that, you can make use of something called as this thing. We are going to make the this thing. So we are going to make the scale of both of them as same, x limit and y limit, right? So again, this particular thing is done. I will just try to copy it. Same command I am doing. Okay, I am not doing anything new. I'm just trying to show you the results. Try to understand the results. Our commands are actually same. Okay, so here this is plot command, first plot command for UA, and the second one is for A. Right? Let me just no need to divide it again and again. Once it is done, that will be okay. So let me go for UA now. Now you will see that the scale of UA was 0 to 500, right? So it will be 0 to 1000. Why are we doing it? Because we want to compare it. Now see, 0 to 1000 it is. Starting with 0, ending at 1000. And same is the thing for AA also. Now it is, you are in a position to actually compare both of them. Because now they are on the same scale. X limit and Y limit, we have made it as 0 to 1000. Now you can see, in case of AA, there are more number of flights I can say. Why? Because you can check it. See, there are more number of flights, so whose arrival time is greater than 600 till 1000 it is, right? But that is not the case in case of UA. Like this, you can go and you can comment a lot over all those points, right? So that is just a visualization which you can do like this. Now, if you want to restore that particular thing to single plot, you can make the C1, one row and one column. Yes, that's also possible. So you will be able to see the plot like this. So if you are going to plot it for only you will be able to see only for you, but on a single plot. Right? So now all these things, what are these things? So see, what are we going to do is we are actually going to draw horizontal line, vertical line, and we are trying to talk about specific data, and we want to understand how to get all these names. Suppose this one is the thing, but what this is the title or main thing we have seen earlier. Right. This is, here you can have label, X label, here you can have Y label. Now, see, if you can check here, something called as minutes is there. Here UA equal to United Airways. Right? So all these things, here suppose some name is written. So all these things, how to add in our case at a particular point. That's what we want to understand, because these are the things which are going to help us to make the visualization easy to understand, or make the plots easy to understand. That's what is the next point we want to actually discuss here. Right. For that, what we want is, here I am plotting a plot. I am plotting a graph here. Again with the help of plot command between arrival delay and departure delay of UA. Okay. So let me just go and okay, obviously I will have, as I am going to need only one plot, so I will have to change the mainframe row. This particular command I will have to run it once again. This one, because the frame is actually divided into two plots. So I will just go here and I will try to run this particular thing, so that frame will be divided into only one plot. So whatever the plot I am going to plot now, it will be single plot, not like this. Now I will go and try to show you how to get those names onto the graph. So first of all, as usual, I am going to plot the required plot. Okay, which is a single plot, arrival and departure delay for UA. Now here you will be able to see single plot as output. So let it come. Now see, this is a single plot, right? Now what I am trying to talk about is how to add all those names, whatever I said, right? How to add all those names. See, text at x equal to 100 and y equal to 400. I want to add a label called as United Airways. So at x equal to 400 and y equal to at x equal to 100 and y equal to 400. So if you just imagine, if I go here and if I try to show you x equal to 100, what do you mean by that? So x equal to 100 means this value and y equal to 400 means this value. That means somewhere here. So I want something like this, United Airways, something like this written here. So try to understand that that point will be at the center of the text. This is what is going to happen. See, what is going to happen is this text command is there at x equal to 100 and y equal to 400. So x equal to 100 and y equal to 400 is going to be at the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 characters are there. So it will be at the center of that particular string, whatever it may be. Let me show you. If I go here, control enter, now you will see that text somewhere here. Now see, it has come, United Airways. So if I go here, draw a perpendicular line, that 400, so that point is at the center. So at the center, it is going to start from the center actually. If you want it to start from this point onwards like this, yes, it's possible. Or to end at this, yes, it's possible. Right? But by default, it will be at the center. So that 100, 400 point will be pointing at the center. This is how you can add. Later on, other examples are also given. So 400, 0, right? Suppose I want to add some name here. So go and try to see this RStudio. Suppose same thing if I go here, sorry. If I go and if I try to check this particular thing, Control C, right? So what was that? 0, 400, 0. X is 400 and this one is 0. Right? So this is 400. So you can check it. X value 400 and Y value 0. That means somewhere here, right? Somewhere here. So somewhere here you will be able to say the name. So right, whatever you want. Suppose I want VIT, right? VIT something like this. So control enter. So you will be able to see that particular name at 400, 0. X 400 and Y 0. Now see, you are able to see that, right? And again, you have options, a lot of options actually to go and color the things. Right? So all these things again definitely are going to help us to decorate the plots so that it will be easy to understand, right? So obviously there are some other things also which we want to discuss, and finally we want to see how to color them so that everything is going to look nice and everything is going to be very much understandable. That's what visualization is. Okay, so that's what I was trying to tell you, that to complete this particular second unit, most of the times I will be showing you some practical examples so that you will also understand it clearly, and just going on discussing theory only. It should not happen like that, right? So that's why I will be showing you all these things. Related to all these things, so missing value, how to remove missing values, I will show you some examples. Maybe in Python, maybe in R, as I told you, right? So it will again help you to understand the things. What actually are missing values, what happens because of that, what's the problem, why to remove them, what if you do not remove them, what will happen, right? So we'll try to talk about that. Okay, so we'll continue with the second unit itself, but let me tell you, maybe there might be one test we will try to conduct on this unit. Okay, either I will give assignments or I will just conduct one online kind of a test. So I will inform it on about it on group. Okay, so be ready for that one. First unit you can see it's really easy. Try to prepare all these topics whatever I told you. Full theoretical unit. Okay, and send your numbers those who are present. As I can see that only 5 people are present. Just send your seat number so that I can make use of that particular thing for your attendance. Just send your seat numbers in the chat box. Okay, so any question, anyone, any doubt, anything from your side? If you have, you can ask. Okay, because we will stop here and we'll continue in the next session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I got
Sir, hello.
yes.
Sir, Amisha and Mrunmay were also there, but they disconnected.
Send their numbers, no problem.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I think everyone is done.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
then, yeah, I will stop you and we'll meet in the next session.